I think I'm all set up and ready. Okay. I don't think I need any notes, do I? Yeah, I'm ready. Nice setup. Oh, hey, look at you, all ready to create some content. Yeah, I think I'm ready, man. Can you just help me hit the record button real quick? Yeah, sure thing. Thanks. Looking good. Yeah, it's recording. You're right. Well, a lot of people say that you should look at the camera when you record. True, yes. People do say that you should look at the camera when you are talking. Hence, speaking. Well, I kind of forgot what I was gonna say. Well, I think you should have some kind of system. I mean, I had it all in my head earlier, and it's just all there. But as soon as you press that record button, I completely forgot. Well, I think you should have some kind of structure or something that remind you of what to say. Yeah, I'm kind of sweating. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Well, did you catch yourself pressing that record button and then all of a sudden completely forgot what you're gonna say or the key point that you want to bring across, or you find yourself staring down the barrel of your lens or your phone and just not knowing what to say, or sometimes rambling on like I'm doing right now? Yeah, you've come to the right place because I've been there. And I've mentioned this in my previous video briefly. So today I want to dive in a little bit deeper on how I structure my bullet points, and in hoping it will help you navigate your documenting life journey, because it has helped me tremendously. So with that said, I'm not a YouTube influencer nor some kind of bullet points guru. I am not trying to be any of that. I'm just me, and I find what works for me might not work for you. But it helped me simplify a lot of things in my journey to document my own life. So hopefully it will bring you some values. Why bullet points work. It helps me stay focused by just looking at those key points that I have and know, okay, this is where I'm at. And I don't start wandering off and go off on a tangent or start saying things that's not related. And it takes off the pressure as well of trying to say things word by word, because I know a lot of people like to script their whole script, to write out their whole script and have it on a teleprompter or next to them and read word by word. It works for some, however, it doesn't really work for me, because I find myself focusing too much on the words, and that takes away the experience. It takes away this me, like as if I'm talking to you when you are in front of me, or the feeling of me talking to an actual person, not a camera, So I steer away from the whole teleprompter and scripting word by word. So in order to make this as simple as possible, we're gonna break it down into like 3 different parts. It's the intro, the middle, and the end. That's it. And what do you do with the intro? So just kind of keep this in mind when you're writing out your bullet points, or even when you have a key point or the thing that you want to record or film, because this structure is the fundamental of writing anything. I think, even I just thought of something now, is when my daughter is writing a lot of essays for school, and it follows the same structure, the intro, the middle, and the end, conclusion. And so by just having that structure loosely in your bullet points, it works. And while talking to you, you're gonna notice that I keep on looking down. I have my notes here. I have my bullet points on what I, want to share with you today. So for the intro, think of it as you're setting the stage. Just a single line of what you're gonna dive in. No fancy hook required, just clarity. And sometimes you're gonna feel like, well, I don't really need an intro because I'm just documenting my life. Well, an intro, think of it as the label for the body, so that if you or anyone else that you're sharing this piece of content to, at least they would know, oh, okay, so the rest of the video is gonna be about this topic. And then we're gonna go into the middle. So this is the meat of your message. This is where you're gonna go crazy and talk about the thing that you mentioned in the intro. This is where your thought lives. This is all about your experiences, what you've learned, the values and your perspective and all of that you've gathered or through your experiences, and use 2 to 3 bullet points to help you stay focused. That way you'll be able to articulate one thing and you're like, okay, and you can kind of mentally check it off, like, okay, I've talked about that, and then go on to the next one. And I think the hardest part is not knowing how many bullet points that you should write, because sometimes when you start writing, you have all of these ideas and you're thinking, oh my God, am I overstuffing my ideas into this part? I would say no for the most part, because when you start talking or when you start typing out, all of these new ideas start to form, and those ideas can actually be a topic in itself. And I will probably make another video or a different video specifically in this area. I'm actually gonna note it down so I know to make this video next time for you guys. But yeah, if you catch yourself writing way too many bullet points, just write it out so that your thoughts are on paper. And then after that, go back in and extract them out and put them on a different piece of paper on a different note. And what's left are just the key point or the main point that would tie back to the intro or the topic. So that's why it's very important to have that intro or that topic on top, so that you can always come back to it. And once you've done that for the middle part, it's the ending. And the ending, again, keeping it really simple, you just want to be able to wrap the whole thing up with intention. What is your intention? One sentence that ties everything together. Again, it doesn't have to be a one-liner. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be you. Your honest, your clarity, your intention. That is what matters. You don't have to try to think or come up with a quote. Don't go down that rabbit hole. And if you do catch yourself thinking you're gonna have to come up with something profound or something really clever to say, one thing that you can put down is clarity is not cleverness. I don't know who came up with that, but I just thought of that right now. So clarity is not cleverness. That'll be the next slogan. A quick example structure that I have, and as you can see, it's very simple how I prepare before recording. Just an intro, and then the middle, I have 3 bullet points, how I keep my points simple. And then my ending, so that's how I stay focused without scripting every word. And just a quick final reminder is that keep it simple. Keep it really, really simple. Your goal isn't perfection, just direction. That sounds kind of interesting. Not trying to make it rhyme, but it just happens to. Kind of cheesy though. Bullet points are there to guide you and not restrain you from being creative. And if you have something that you just thought of, just share it, just say it. And then if you end up editing it, you can cut it out if it doesn't work for that or it doesn't support your topic. The more you practice, the more natural you're gonna sound. Again, like I said, I really hope that you push forward and start documenting your life and pull away or try to separate yourself out from your BS, belief system, and just really pushing and go for it and make your first or second or third video. Your intention is to provide values, and if anything, work on how to improve the quality of those values that you're trying to convey in your videos. Hopefully that helps, and on that note, stay safe, stay creative, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.